Nicolas McGay is the spokesman for Melbourne Water. Nicolas, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Angela and Wendy. How are you?
Good, thank you, Nicolas. So many jokes come out of this burg about the beautiful Yarra River. It must drive you up the wall.
Oh, it is much maligned, and unfairly so for the most part.
But it is quite dirty, is it not?
Oh, yes. Look, it's quite natural. They are floating clay particles. The Yarra's got a pretty big catchment, and a lot of that is actually some of the stormwater runoff. The natural land brings in, I guess, some of the natural soils, and that manifests itself in clay particles, which can be seen, and when the light refracts off it, it looks quite muddy.
It does look quite muddy.
Yeah. So it's quite natural, but it's funny, even when it's not muddy, people perceive it as so, particularly in the lower reaches where some of it's sort of estuarine, so it's salt water. Because you can't see the bottom, it's obviously not going to look totally clear. So even when it's not muddy, people have that long-held perception that it is so.
But so muddy or not, is it clean? Is it healthy water, Nicolas?
It is. Now, it's interesting because most people's view of the Yarra is taken from the, I guess, the last 10 k's or so from inner Melbourne in the CBD. But it's important to remember, I guess, that it starts way up in the headwaters, Mount Ball, about 240 kilometres away. So it's a massive icon for us. And, you know, the forefathers had the good grace to exclude anyone from entering about 100,000 hectares right up at its headwaters. So some of the purest water in the world comes up there because we don't allow anyone in there. So it's a river of two halves, really. You've got the pristine upper sections, and you come down the middle, and, you know, admittedly the quality does go down somewhat, but it's understandable, I guess. It's second only to Sydney, I guess, in terms of the size of the city. So when you plonk a river in the middle of that many people, in fact, I think about 60% of Victoria's population lives in the Yarra catchment. So it's quite a few pressures, particularly when you get in the built-up areas. So, but look, in terms of its health, I think a lot of the legacy of how much it has been maligned stems back to pre-1970s, when it probably wasn't treated as well as it should be. But since then, with the formation of the Environmental Protection Authority, and also a lot of the industrial waste diverted to the treatment plants on the outer edges of the city, it's improved quite a lot. So the big challenge now is all the stormwater runoff. So when it rains, you get things like dog poo and people's oil on motor cars and stuff like that. So that's the next challenge. But it has improved significantly since we got serious about looking after itself.
And people say some very, very rude things about it, don't they? They say it's upside down, that you could drive on it.
Yeah, it's the upside down river. Yeah, you name it, we've heard it, Wendy.
Nicolas, I'm a Sydney girl, born and bred, but my daughter has moved to Melbourne, so I go down there a lot. And the last time I was there, she took me on a picnic. We went to a picnic at a beautiful spot called on the banks of Merry Creek.
Oh yes, that's a tributary of the Yarra. Yep.
Yeah, and that was just exquisite. I felt like I was, you know, in the country on the north coast or somewhere. It was really beautiful, and, you know, water sort of washing down across the rocks and the stones. I just wanted to get in it, but of course there are signs everywhere saying don't.
Yeah, look, it's not encouraged in the urban areas. I mean, it's secondary. There's a lot of rowers every morning on the Yarra. You'll see it teeming with rowers. So that sort of secondary contact, they call it, is done year round. But and look, we do have rubbish issues. It's more of an aesthetic thing than a water quality thing. But that's a constant problem because, as you can imagine, all roads lead to Rome in terms of rubbish on streets. Every drain goes into a local river, which ends up into the Yarra mainly. So
I hear you're just about to spend $1 billion on cleaning up the Yarra and Port Phillip Bay. You should I should just say this. You know, my husband's view of Port Phillip Bay is actually probably not able to be spoken on this radio because he loves his surf and he's a real Sydney boy, and he just looks at Port Phillip Bay and goes, "Oh, good, well, what a puddle."
You'd have trouble getting a wave there, but look, you go on the other side, down to Torquay or down.
Yep, that's right.
Peninsula way. Yes.
But yes, but you are spending that money. And how far through the dredging are you at the moment?
Well, that's not something I'm sort of learned of. Our remit sort of ends at the rivers, I guess. But there has been a lot of dredging over the past few years to enable some more trade. But sorry, I can't really speak with any authority on that.
And you shouldn't probably, because it's very controversial, isn't it?
So here in Sydney, Nicholas, we love the harbour. We're very, very proud of our harbour. It's beautiful. You know, you can swim in it now. There was a massive effort to clean it up. Do Melbourne people love the Yarra?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I think it's been a love in work.
It's a love-hate relationship, isn't it?
It's a love-hate relationship. Yes, that's right. Well, we've got hundreds of friends off groups because there's dozens and dozens of little tributaries that flow into the Yarra. And so we've got some friends off group who hold us to high accounts. And they donate a lot of their time. We have grants and stuff for them. So there's a passionate, loyal group who see it for its environmental values. But we've slowly begun to realise that it's not so much the environmental value. Well, that's very important. Without it, you don't have the recreational value. But a lot of people just like it for its passive recreation.
Oh, can I just say, one of the worst things that you could ever happen to you is to be stuck on a work do on a boat on the Yarra.
Just she said that. But so, Nicholas, is it ever not brown? Is it ever not muddy?
Yes, yeah, particularly when it's Melbourne also has the reputation of raining quite a bit. So after it rains, it can be quite muddy due to those clay particles. But
yes,
when you find yourself in the middle of a nice, dry sunny period, it's not muddy, but that perception still holds because
Wednesday afternoon in April, you might find
get there and
find it looking clear and clean, lovely.
Yeah,
Thanks, Good on you, Nicholas. Thanks so much for coming on and giving us a big chat about
Yes, it's very nice to talk to you. Thank you so much, Nicholas.